We are broadcasting back outside. Our studio is still under construction, and the weather broke a little bit here, so we're able to sit outside. It's cold. I mean, believe me, it's cold, but it's not as cold as it was. Please pray for us that we are able to finish the studio. Pray for our son, my son, Michael Winston. And we moved here to the Memphis area, as most of you know, because he is battling cancer, and he is being treated at St. Jude Children's Hospital. So we had to leave everything that we knew and loved in West Virginia and in the Washington, D.C. area, and to come here. And here we are. And here we will remain, God willing. All right, let's talk about the crisis at the border. Obama's trying to double down, trying to make the crisis worse. I know that he's saying that he's helping with this executive order that is basically paving the way for amnesty for some 5 million people. But there's a lot of people that are going to start coming in right now. They just are. Like when the administration released some phrase or two in the summer months, in the early summer months, and tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors began pouring in when he made it clear that he wasn't going to deport any of them. Well, now he's saying we're not going to deport 11 million people. Come on out of the shadows. And Oklahoma's Attorney General is going to take Obama to court and see if he can't get the executive order suspended by a judicial decree, because his argument is, the one that we've made on this program, that Obama doesn't have the authority to change the law. Okay? It's a law passed by Congress, and it's a law that has to be modified by Congress. He is not a dictator, though he behaves as one. He is not an emperor, though he behaves as one. So the Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma is going to sue. We'll see if any other attorneys general step up to the plate, show some backbone. Because clearly, John Boehner and Mitch McConnell do not have the fortitude. Now, I want to again give you some fodder for thought and for word as you discuss what's going on with Obama and his executive order granting some level of amnesty to some 5 million illegal aliens. They're not undocumented workers, by the way, okay? They're illegal aliens. There is a difference. So he is now in tall cotton with the Hispanic community. And he is certainly in tall cotton with a lot of big businesses who want these people to come out of the shadows so that they can get cheap labor legally, all right? Because that's the issue. That's why the Chamber of Commerce has been lobbying people like Mitch McConnell and John Boehner to change the law, because these guys want cheap labor. So Congress has refused to pass a bill thus far. So President Obama took up the pen and behaved himself like a dictator and an emperor. Arguably, according to what every Republican leader that I have seen on television is saying, is this is in defiance of the Constitution, that it does not follow the rule of law, that Obama is acting like an emperor. They're saying all these things. And then, so the answer, or the question you say to them is, okay, so what? What are you going to do? And guess what they decided to do? Nothing. Go home. They're just going home. In other words, as I mentioned the other day on a show, and I want to say it again here, think of Nixon, think of Clinton, who both, Nixon was threatened with impeachment, Clinton was impeached by the House. What impact did the misdeeds of Clinton or Nixon, what impact would they have had, or did they have, on America's economic policies, the size of our welfare state, our economy overall, whether or not our borders would be overrun by illegal people, over a seismic shift in the electorate? Because Obama was on the record many times saying that it was the Republicans who wouldn't work with him. It was the Republicans who were stopping all these people from coming out of the shadows. And so now a Democrat president says, you're all in. Where do you think the loyalty of these people is going to lie? Right? So it's a huge political shift. So think of what Nixon did, think of what Clinton did, and then ask, compared to what Obama did, whose misdeeds, whose violation of the law, whose violation of the Constitution is going to have the biggest impact on America, on the average American? And by the way, one other thing. Obama said, you know, just come on in, pay the fine, pay your back taxes if you've got any, get into the system and pay taxes. Have you ever heard of an earned income tax credit? The family credit that people get? There are people who file for federal income tax, making $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, and depending on the number of children that they have, while they do have to pay their FICA tax, on the income tax side, they get money from the government, okay? So right now, they have this shadow economy that they're doing, but by coming into the system, they will be getting money out of the system that they never paid into the system. Are you thinking about that? John Boehner, Mitch McConnell, if he's behaving like an emperor, if he's violating the Constitution, if he's violating the law, why aren't you at least discussing impeachment? Do you want to get America out of the hands of wicked and unjust men and women who are destroying the republic before our eyes, and put leadership back into the hands of righteous men and women so that we don't die as a nation? Well, you're talking about social revolution, and there are rules in social revolution. We can look at the victorious social revolutions of the past, such as the end of slavery, the end of child labor, women's voting rights, the end of segregation, and so much more, and learn from their victories. Look at their actions, their images, their rhetoric, their sacrifices, and their final fruit. We will send you this series that originally cost $129, 7 books for students, 1 teacher's guide, if you'll give a gift of any size and just pay for shipping and handling. Take advantage of it today.